lot of the stuff's made in China. We're already finding situations where the code that's in the chip may not be exactly what was supposed to be there. But I'm running a ground station at home, sitting on my desk, little box, modest beast that records, that's hooked to a big, like 4.5 foot antenna that takes in this ADS-B signal from the surrounding area, processes it, uploads it to the internet to some of these sites, and I'm able to look at my own, personal virtual air traffic. I'm able to see all the flight paths for the area around my home. The FAA has demanded that their order came down, that this be all implemented, that every plane, and within certain criteria, be equipped by 2020. Europe is waiting until 2030. But this is already being utilized all over the world. I believe Australia is pretty much already implemented it everywhere. UPS has equipped all of their flights with ADS-B out. They were an initial test bed for the FAA. There are planes over our head right now that are ADS-B equipped and using this. It's the inevitable direction. We've only got 8 years before it's mandatory on this continent that, to ask some of these hard questions as the flying public. First threat, ADS-B out. So this is plane to air traffic control, eavesdropping. This is simple, as I said, unencrypted, unauthenticated protocols. I'm running a base station. I'm able to record all of this myself. Gee, this is all clear text. What can I data mine with that? I get multiples of these stations. I can do my own homebrew multilateration. Even if a plane is not broadcasting its GPS coordinates, if it's broadcasting anything that I can identify, I can still locate that. Injection. What is to stop us, other than a very long jail sentence, from injecting ghost flights into air traffic control systems? Documents that discuss using primary radar, actually bouncing signal off metal, that talk about fusing that with ADS-B in order to verify, okay, this plane says it's here. We actually have metal in the air at roughly that location. You can kind of trust that. The same documents that talk about using this system also talk about, hey, ADS-B is cheap. We can now turn off primary radar. That's scary. What happens if we introduce just slight variations of existing flights? Say, start with broadcasting the same location of that flight, but just sort of, make them diverge. How do you know which one's the real one? A lot of the stuff's made in China. We're already finding situations where the code that's in the chip may not be exactly what was supposed to be there. They're safety engineers. They're trying to get a plane from A to B operating under certain circumstances as safely as possible. Human life, the material cost of the equipment. They're not security engineers. They're not thinking, what if? I found somebody. The FAA specifically assessed the vulnerability risk of ADS-B broadcast messages being used to target air carrier aircraft. This assessment contains sensitive security information and is controlled under 49 CFR Parts 1 and blah, blah, blah. And its content is otherwise protected from public disclosure. It gets worse. While the agency cannot comment on the data in this study, it can confirm the purposes of responding that the comments in this rulemaking proceeding that using ADS-B data does not subject any aircraft to any increased risk compared to the risk that it is experienced today. This is comforting. Yes, we submitted it for security evaluation. We can't tell you if it was crap or not. What threats were they testing against? Did they think of everything? Maybe there's somebody in this room who could think of something else that I haven't, or that they haven't. Why not the threats of tomorrow?